Yo, Bert, dude, it's the end of the year, dude. We should do our top 10 freaking movies of the year, man, right? To cap off the year with the high note.
Yeah, I kind of would, but I kind of watched seven.
The movie 7?
No, like I've actually watched 7 movies of 2020.
7 movies, Bert. We got to watch at least 10 to get a top 10 or 11.
Well, dude, look, what did you want me to do? We had this global bastard like hosting down all of our movie theaters. What the hell did you want me to do?
Well, that's where Netflix originals come in, Bert.
Well,
Come on now.
Whatever. You do your top 10. I do my top 7. We'll just get through this.
You got it, pal. Let's do it.
All right, let's do it.
What's going on, guys and gals, and welcome to Good Reel Hunting, where we hunt for the good reels so you don't have to. It's your boy Brad. The BrettMan's right over there. We spent all 2020 hunting for good reels for you guys and gals, and we have come up with a big, freaking long-ass list of 18 movies each. And of those movies, we have to pick 10 that were our favorites, so it's going to be a good time. We're going to get into it. Actually, being honest with you, I think I had 26 new releases this year. So a little less than half of those are going on this list. Some good, some great, we'll get into it. But Brett, dude, you excited to talk about it or what?
Dude, I'm so excited. Like we've just tackled the situation of the global bastard so we can hunt down this top 10 list of 2020, and we're excited to share with you on what we found along our adventures for hunting the good reels.
Absolutely. So we'll do what we can to let you know. I know there's more stuff that we've missed out on. There's been plenty of Amazon originals, Netflix originals. A lot of those have been dog shit from what I've heard, so I didn't bother with them. Brett, I don't know. You're probably the same way. I don't really watch movies that I don't think are going to be good. So I only watch the ones that I think I'm going to at least have a good time with. So I did, and I got 26. So let's get into this. Do you have any honorable mentions you want to get into, my friend?
Let's see here. I do have like 2 honorable mentions. They're not really movies. They're just like documentaries from Netflix that I really enjoyed. That as you'll see from my letterbox, which just follow us on our letterboxes. I'm sure we'll add more 2020 movies in the future.
Sure.
So I'm sure to follow us there. So my 2 honorable mentions are The Social Dilemma and American Murder, The Family Next Door. I was so intrigued with both of them. With The Social Dilemma, it kind of like briefly goes in with how dangerous social media has been to our society. And I'm telling you, like at one point I was legit getting scared and freaked out. I'm like, damn, I need to cancel all my social media, but I can't because again, we're doing good reel hunting and we got to hunt down those good reels for you. So I just, manned up and kept my social media.
Right, and, you
are. For American Murder, The Family Next Door, it's about like trying to figure out a murder about a woman and her 2 kids, and her husband is a prime suspect. And like you'll see all like the behind scenes and like footages on like whodunit aspect. And I'm sure a lot of you people know what it is about, but without like spoiling anything, just briefly, it's a good time. It's just very interesting.
Okay. Right on, dude. I like it. I watched the Social Dilemma. What's that?
Have you heard of the ones I mentioned?
Yeah, Social Dilemma I watched. Actually got rid of my Facebook after that. I mean, it's still there, but I don't have the app anymore.
Dude, scary shit, I'm telling you.
Yeah, I don't use it. I don't like it. But yeah, it's there. And the other one, I know my wife watched it. I didn't really. I watched a little bit of it with her, but I didn't watch the whole thing just because. Yeah, but good stuff. I can see that. So for me, a couple things I just want to mention. They're not necessarily number 11 and number 12 on my list, but just a couple things I watched this year and had some fun with. One of those is going to be Vivarium is one. It came out, technically, I think it's a 2019 movie, but it wasn't available until the spring of this year. It has Jesse Eisenberg in there, as well as Imogen Poots. I don't know her. I'm not good at names, but
No, I'm just kidding. I'm sure I've heard of that actor before.
no, she's a very good actress, and it was a good movie. It was weird. It was very weird, man. I liked it though. I was still intrigued by it, just by how eccentric it was. So that's why it's up there. It's one of the movies I saw this year that it stuck with me for a little bit. I can't really say much about it without spoiling it, so I won't. But it was on Prime. I think it still is. Give it a watch if you're into weird stuff. Really liked it. Another one would be the we'll go with Guns Akimbo. It was a movie that yeah, it was fun. It has Samara Weaving and Harry Potter in there.
Daniel Radcliffe.
Yeah, Daniel Radcliffe, of course. It was a fun movie. It's not, again, this one's not number 12. I mean, it's probably 15, 16 for the year, but it's just one I thought needed to mention just because it was a fun time. And Samara Weaving is great as always. Anyway, we'll get into it, Brett. You want to, real quick, Brett, what's your worst movie for the year?
Oh, man, I was going to save it for like my number one joke, but since you already put me on the spot, the worst movie I have is Fantasy Island. That came out in February, and oh my gosh, I regretted that decision when I walked into the theater. Because like from the trailer, like the story concept looked awesome and it was unique, but terribly executed. Like I was like just sitting there like, just like do something fun and interesting. Nothing fun and interesting happened. So I was like extremely disappointed that Blumhouse took my money on a low budget horror film.
Right, you are. My worst was Lost Girls on Netflix. Dog shit, horse's ass, not interesting, not good. Again, that's just kind of giving you a scale of the movies I watch. It looked kind of interesting, so I watched it. There's a lot of movies that came out that just didn't appeal to me, so I didn't watch it. So if my worst movie is Lost Girls, it's like a 1.5 I gave it. Yeah, that tells you that I skip out on a lot of the really, really big garbage.
So would you say that Showgirls is better?
Absolutely. Yes. All right. So bring us in number 10.
All right. I have at number 10, The Hunt. And it was a very fun time. At the beginning of the movie just did a complete 180 of what I thought was going to happen. And just the main girl in the movie, Betty Giblin, she does a very good job in this movie. She's so entertaining and so fun, and that you'll just have a really good time with this flick.
Right, you are. My number 10 is most people probably haven't even seen this, but it's 7,500. What it is, it was an Amazon Prime original movie that came out this year. It's got your boy in there, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, as a pilot. I'll just give you the plot. No spoilers. I'm not going to spoil any of these movies because they're all new. But he's a pilot on an international flight. The flight gets taken over, hijacked by terrorists, essentially. And the whole movie is shot in the cockpit of the plane from his perspective. And I thought that was really cool. Instead of showing all the stuff going on behind, like back in the plane, you're seeing it all in the cockpit. So it's a really good movie. Joseph Gordon-Levitt really carries the movie throughout with his performance. And he's talented enough to do that. So if you haven't seen it, I would definitely recommend it.
Awesome, man. I've heard of that movie, so I'm going to have to check it out for myself.
Yeah, it was very cool.
Let's see here. All right, my number 9, and I believe this is the only Shudder original movie I have on here, and that is Host. Which pretty much what Host is. It's kind of like Brad. What's the movie we always compared it, or you compared this?
Unfriended. Yeah, it's a Unfriended 2.0.
Exactly like, or very similar to that. It's about these girls wanting to experiment with like calling the spirits and all that, and you get your typical girl that just makes a joke of it, and that's one of the rules. You don't make a joke of it, and all hell breaks loose. And the big positive I have, this is not a very long movie. I think it's a 53-minute movie. So it quickly runs by and you're going to have a very good time with it.
Right, you are. I agree. My favorite part about that was the runtime. Just really cool, short, easy movie. I didn't put it very high just because of it's basically a ripoff, but I did have a good time with it. So number 9 for me is Wonder Woman 1984. Just came out last week on Christmas. Good movie. Disappointing though. Had fun with it, but I was disappointed with it at the end of the day. Wonder Woman is my favorite movie of the DCEU, but this next one, the second outing, if you will, just wasn't near as good. Very disappointing. We move on.
Yeah, and I'm glad you brought up that movie too. I really badly wanted to put it in my top 10, but I just couldn't. Like it didn't deserve that for me. So my number 8 was a movie that was supposed to come out in theaters, and was recently said that it was the top grossing original like family movie, and that is Disney's Onward. I thought it had a really good message. It's about these two brothers trying to resurrect their dad to at least see them like the dad one more time. But you know how magic is, or just any Disney plot, something goes wrong, so they go on this big adventure to see if they can bring back their dad, and it's just a really fun time, and it's on Disney Plus.
Yeah, my wife really liked that one. I watched some of it with her, but I fell asleep. But
Yeah, I
she
was
said it was
really
very good.
disappointed you did that. And then,
She said
yeah,
it was
like me and your wife, we talked about the movie, and we both had a great time with it.
She said it was very good. Maybe we'll catch it one of these days.
When you're awake.
So what are we at now?
We're at number 8.
Number 8 for me is The Rental. Nice little movie, came out. Nice. It was a horror movie that came out. And again, I'm not going to spoil it for you, but it came out this year, and it was directed by your boy, Mr. Franco, Dave Franco. Not James, but Dave. And it had some good things going for it. It had Dan Stevens in there, and it was just a group of friends goes out to freaking Airbnb, and weird shit hits the fan. Essentially, good stuff. I liked it. I had a good time. The characters weren't very memorable to me, but it had some suspenseful moments in it, and a pretty good freaking third act.
Dude, excellent one. You might actually get to hear that from me later on.
Ooh.
So my number 7, I have Birds of Prey, and I'm not even going to mention like the rest of that title. All you need to know is Birds of Prey from the DC EU. It's pretty much all about Harley Quinn and just the Birds of Prey storyline with the team just to fight off these bad guys. And Harley Quinn is pretty much just a Harley Quinn show, if I'm just going to be honest with you. Roby, excellent as her returning role as Harley Quinn. So much fun. I cannot suggest this movie enough. So I say go watch it. It's my number 7.
Yeah, I wasn't much of a fan of it when I saw it. It's way down on my list, man. Like bottom 5 probably. It wasn't my cup of tea, but I'm glad that you're one of the ones that liked it. I know a lot of people did. So I'm glad it worked out for you.
Yeah, like I understand why you didn't like it, but it just screamed me. Like that is easily a me movie that I always have fun with. So I don't blame you for having it that low for you, but for me, it's up there.
Right on, dude. Well, hey, my number 7 is That's Freaky, with Vince Vaughn and your girl there, with Vince Vaughn and Catherine Newton.
Yes,
I thought it was pretty good. It was a fun time, and again, this is kind of just the story of 2020. Normally, would not make my top 10 or anywhere close, but it was a fun movie. One of the only movies I saw in theaters this year, and it had some heart to it, and it was a very effective horror comedy. I mean, there were some good kills in there, good comedy in there, and it was just a good, hour and a half spent in the theater. I had a good time with it.
Yeah, and it just truly screamed like a movie for pure horror fans. So
and Vince Vaughn, a fun performance, a fun time seeing him in this genre, and I liked it, man. It was a good time. It was a Happy Death Day sort of vibes, but with the Freaky Friday spin on it.
Same director.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm glad you put it in the top 10. I just couldn't do it. My number 6 is Tenet. And very long movie, but I had a I actually didn't complain with this movie being long. It was such a fun movie. It gets your brain like working, like you really have to think about like what's going on and really pay attention. So be aware of that. But it is such a fun time, and Brad would probably back me up on this. We highly suggest subtitles if you're
Hell
going to
yeah.
watch the movie. So
Yeah.
number 6, The Tenant.
Yeah, Tenet was fantastic. Really liked it. Number 6 for me, and Tenet's one we're going to talk about down the road on Beers with the Bros, by the way. So
Yeah,
we're
Chris
gonna have a nice
Chris
long,
enjoys that movie.
spoiler-filled, good times. Just got it on Blu-ray 4K, and we're gonna have a good time. But number 6 for me, Netflix original movie, Extraction, with Thor himself, freaking Sam
Chris
Hargrave
Hemsworth.
directed. Yeah, Chris Hemsworth. Sam Hargrave is the director of this one. Very talented director, I think. Kind of a new to the game. Great action flick, guys. It was. It had a really long, uncut action. It was cut. A one take. It was more than one take. Action shot in there that was reminiscent of Atomic Blonde, which Sam Hargrave worked on as well. Great stuff. Chris Hemsworth was great. It's one of the better Netflix original movies I've seen in a while. And I thought a lot of great action set pieces. Fun movie. It's a couple hours long, but it goes by like that just because of how invested you get in the action. And yeah, if you guys haven't seen it yet, definitely recommend it. I think I gave it 4 out of 5 actually.
Ooh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, this is exciting. You know what? Number 5, let's just keep that train rolling. My number 5 is also Extraction with Chris Hemsworth. And I was on the belief that all Chris Hemsworth really is. It's just Thor. This movie said otherwise. He proved in this movie that he is indeed a very good action star and that he should have more roles like this. And I totally agree with that. Had a great 1 to 2 straight action sequence that Brad was mentioning earlier. That's my favorite scene of the whole movie. And it's just a very fun action flick, and you're going to have a really good time with on Netflix.
Right, you will, dude. It's an exciting movie, man. Check it out. It's like playing Call of Duty, but really watching
shocked, and it's going to now spawn multiple movies of it too.
I'm game, man. Action hero. Number 5, top 5 for me. Trial of the Chicago 7. It's going to be another Netflix original movie. This one also has Joseph Gordon-Levitt. He's the man of the year. Maybe we'll see. Let's get into it some more. It's about a group of activists, I guess, in the Vietnam era, protesting the Vietnam War. There's some other stuff going on there too. It's going through that. They all get arrested on some, protest charges, and they go through. It's kind of just showing the trial of that. It's really neat. It's cool. Good little period piece of the time for Vietnam. Love that time period for movies. And Joseph Gordon-Levitt's great. It's got Borat in there himself.
Mash.
God dang it. Yeah, he's in there. Good movie. I thought, it missed a little bit of a emotional connection with the main characters. There wasn't really a main character to this movie. It's just kind of a set of people and their story, but it was good. It was fun for what it was. Another really good Netflix movie for the year. It might be my top Netflix movie for the year. We'll get into it here in the next couple of movies, but it was good. I really liked it. I would recommend it if you haven't seen it. And yeah, it was good.
All right. That's awesome, man. My number 4, and please forgive me if I mess up this line. Just let me know in the comment section what it actually is. My number 4 is We Live Together. We Die Together. Bad Boys for Life.
Bad boys, what you want? What you gonna do?
Do what they come for you. But
Rub it out, shampoo, put chain.
No.
Mike, you're supposed to know the words.
Oh, hell no. No. Bad Boys for Life, my number 4. I went in with very low expectations about this movie. Me and my brother did, and we both came out very surprised with how great this movie is. For me, the Bad Boys franchise is one of the rare franchises that with each movie, it gets better and better. I thought 2 was better than 1, and now I think 3 is better than all of them. I really had a great time. The direction of the story they went with it is great, and I highly suggest you watching this movie. It's very, very good. It took me by surprise.
Let's keep that train rolling, my friend. My 4 is also Bad Boys for Life, and it's the same reasons you just said. Martin Lawrence is back in the game, baby. Will Smith is still out there tearing shit up, and again, no spoilers, but yeah, everything you just said. You introduce some new characters in this one. You take out Michael Bay and all of his explosions, and you put in story, and it pays off, man. And yeah, it's fun. These characters, they're back at it, and hopefully, maybe they'll do another one. We'll see. This one was delayed. It was put off. We never thought it was going to happen, and it came out of nowhere in January, and it was actually pretty solid. So definitely check it out.
Yeah, and Fab, and if you're not like motivated to watch this movie, we'll penetrate your soul with our hearts.
How's all that soul penetrating doing?
Man, again, you're going to have a great time with this. And Brad, I'm glad it's your number 4 as well.
Absolutely.
All right, my top 3. This can go either way, like a bunch of flip arounds. So I'm just going to go with my instincts on this. So my number 3 is The Lodge, and I found this on Hulu. The Lodge is what if you love a slow burn movie, if you could appreciate a slow build and a slow burn, this is your kind of movie. The Lodge, the atmosphere is very just unsettling. You don't know exactly what's going on, and that's pretty much all that I will say. Just like a very good movie, and I feel like you're really going to have a great time with it. Again, if you like the slow build and slow burn, this is your kind of movie.
Yeah, and kind of like Vivarium I mentioned earlier, that's one of those that came out. It's got a 2019 release date if you look it up on Letterboxd, but if you look at when it actually came out on theaters and streaming, it was 2020. So we're counting that for the purposes of this year. We're counting those movies just because there's nothing else. But yeah,
the Global Bastard Ruin plans.
Yeah, I like The Lodge. It's not in my top 10, but I had a good time with it. I liked it okay. But number 3 for me is one that you've mentioned already, and that's going to be The Hunt. The Hunt. I don't know. I don't know. This probably would have never made my number. It might not even made my top 10 in a normal year. But I really liked it, man. I had a blast with it from like you said, no spoilers, but from the opening, things just take a twist. It's a completely different kind of movie than I expected. I thought it was going to be yeah, I mean, again, I don't want to spoil it, but I thought it was going to be something. It turned into something else, and at the very beginning of the movie, it just takes a freaking turn that I never would have seen coming. Just as I was watching it, I mean, it was freaking crazy, and I love it's a satire, man, and it doesn't pick a side with politics. Like, it's a very political movie, but it's not leaning one way or the other. It's right in the middle, and it's making fun of both sides, and it's satirical. It's a blast, man, and you see freaking Hilary Swank in there duking it out with freaking Mother's Day girl, the one you mentioned earlier. They're out there freaking tearing it up. Badass freaking fight scene at one point. Again, yeah, I mean, it was awesome.
All over for a grilled cheese.
Yeah, it was great. It was fun. It was just a good time, man. Like again, I don't know if this would have ever made my top 3 in any other year, but I had a good time with it, and this is one I could easily rewatch at any point.
Yeah, it's really that entertaining. So a very good pick for your number 3.
Hell yeah!
So, see, this is where I'm going to pull the rare. I'm just going to flip it. Like it's different here, so I'm going to just go with my gut, man. My number 2, The Rental. I was suggested this movie through Drum Dumps, Lee McCoy, when he did his review on this movie. I'm like, if he's really high on this movie, I got to check this movie out too. And OMG, this movie just goes places I didn't think it was going to go. And Brad's right. The characters are not that memorable. That's what holds back for me a little bit. But I still like the story. I was invested into the characters. And in that third act, it's just batshit crazy. So I suggest you all to watch The Rental.
Yeah, dude. Good flick. Okay, we'll get it. Number 2 for me is another one that you mentioned earlier, and that's going to be Tenet. Freaking Christopher Nolan's flick of the year. Good movie. Again, no spoilers. There's plenty of this be spoiled with this one. So I can't really get into it too much, but it's a great, time bending, as you saw from the trailers, flick, just going all kinds of different directions. Very cerebral. It takes a lot of thinking to get through the plot, and it's very convoluted at times, but it's also freaking super creative. Something that, I mean, it's not something that you see other filmmakers doing. It's one of the kind type shit. And yeah, man, and you get freaking great performances. Robert Pattinson's in there tearing it up. Freaking Mr. Washington is in there tearing it up. Denzel Washington's son in there freaking slaying it. And yeah, man, it's a great flick. Again, don't want to spoil it, but just it's a fun time. We're gonna watch it again. You'll have our full thoughts here pretty soon.
And again, subtitles we highly suggested.
Definitely,
you will know why.
Definitely subtitles. John David Washington is who I was trying to think of.
Yeah,
but yeah, great lead, good times.
Absolutely. So I'm pretty sure my number one is your number one. Would that be safe to assume?
Yeah, I think it's pretty safe.
All right. So our number one is The Invisible Man. So, and holy crap. Again, this is another movie I went with low expectations. Like, I thought the trailer was really good, but again, it's the Universal monster movies. When they try to remake those, you get kind of concerned about it. But just the direction that this movie went with the Universal monster of The Invisible Man, fantastic job. And I love the main girl too, and she is like one of the brightest positives about this movie, and that is
Elizabeth Moss.
Elizabeth Moss, and I actually really enjoyed Oliver Jackson. This movie is just fantastic. Elizabeth just plays her role to perfection, in my opinion. That you're rooting for her, you feel bad for her of what all the stuff is going on. And just, again, they did such a great job with this Universal monster. It just makes you very hopeful that if they decide to make more with the other ones, that it will follow this format of the movie that they did. And this is my number one, hands down, easy.
Yep, I agree. No question. Again, in a normal year, would it have been number one? I don't know. Who's to say? But in this year, it was no question, man. It was easy peasy. No, I didn't have to think about it this year. Great stuff. Lee Winnell is one of my favorite dudes working right now. Between this and Upgrade a couple years ago, he's hitting on all cylinders, man. Fantastic stuff. This, it's right up there with Upgrade with me. I don't know which one I like more yet. I'd have to revisit both of them, but I love it. It brings Elizabeth Moss, like you said, knocked it out of the freaking park in this thing. She carried this thing from beginning to end. I love the themes it brings in. You're talking about abusive relationships and whatnot, and then you're talking about the deeper things with that, like how nobody believes what's going on and stuff like. And then nobody believes that her boyfriend's chasing her invisibly. Just like, you never believe, it's hitting on a lot of sensitive areas. It's doing it with class. And it's man, it's well written. It's well crafted. A budget of $7 million. Are you kidding me? And they made effects like this. I mean, blown out of the park. Lee Winnell is he's a legend of the game at this point. And he's only going to continue to do things like this. I think he's got skills, man. He's got skills.
But yeah, it was made by Blumhouse, right?
Yeah, they produced it. Yeah.
Yeah, like, see, that's why I really just don't get that. Like, it takes like 9 bad movies to make this one freaking excellent movie.
Well, yeah, some of them are, yeah, they crank out a lot of stuff, man. But this is this is better. This is a great movie, man, and it's
yeah, I probably had this up there as my favorite Blumhouse movie, almost.
Yeah, it's definitely up in that list, and blown away. I think with the performances and stuff. It's not a perfect movie by any means, but it was one I really enjoyed, and With this year, I don't see anything that could touch it.
Absolutely. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's our top 10 for 2020. We would love to hear your all's thoughts as well. So, I'm excited for 2021. How about you?
I am too, man. I am as well.
Absolutely. So, what did you think about our list for 2020, our top 10? Do you agree with some of our choices, or is your all's top 10s a lot different from ours? Let us know in the comments section right down below, and let's just get that discussion rolling.
Yes, we would love to see your list, so please drop them below. And if you want to help us find the good reels, you can do so by finding us on Facebook, Instagram, Letterboxd, Twitter, Spotify, and Apple Podcast. Those links are going to be right down here in the description for you.
Absolutely. And this particular video will be on our podcasting services. So be on the watch for those. And to support our channel, be sure to like this video, share, and subscribe to our channel. It's very important that you do that so we can continue giving you this great content as we're, again, on that quest to 100 subs. So, in fact, we can see our boys Matt Fauci and Filthy Dan rap for us for our 100th sub celebration, which we'll get into more detail than that later on once it actually happens. And of course, ring that bell, ding, 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 so you know when the next video is up and running.
And we will see you guys soon.
See you guys.
Sorry, I had to get hydrated. Bert.
All right.
Which, if you're not sure who he is, he's in the show of Haunted on, what's that Netflix series? Blind Mouth. Shut up.
Haunting of Hill House.
No, it's not Haunted on Hill House. It's
the Haunting of Hill House.
Yeah. Okay. For Oliver Jackson, for the Haunted of Hill House, Blind Man. Fuck you.
What'd you call it?
Shut up. Okay. Anyways,